we want to ask a question that we visited a little earlier. What is the Luciferian philosophy? Now, the first thing we want to do, we want to reiterate a point that Josephus brought out about Nimrod. Okay? And the part where he says, he persuaded them not to ascribe it to God, as if it were through his means they were happy. Okay? Now, when we think about that, let's compare it to what the Luciferian philosophy is. And what's interesting about it, it is also based on the story of Adam and Hawa. Now, very simply, this is what it states. Adam and Eve were held prisoner in the bonds of ignorance by an unjust and vindictive God in the Garden of Eden. Listen to the thought that's being planted now. Listen to the suggestion that's being made here. They were set free from their chains. Now, what this is comparable to, for those who are followers of this Luciferian philosophy, is evolution through primordial knowing. Okay? They were set free from their chains by Lucifer. Now, what's interesting is that Lucifer in this particular story is comparable to Prometheus, the movie that was mentioned a little earlier. But we're going to take a look at that in a minute. By Lucifer, through his agent Satan, in the guise of a serpent. You see what's happening here? Now the serpent has become the ancient symbol of wisdom. Why? Because through the deeds of the serpent, it was believed that the knowledge of good and evil came about by what he has done. So now the serpent is revered in some places as being just that. For example, when you see movies about ancient Egyptians, one of the things that you notice on some of the headdress that the pharaohs wear is the form of a serpent, more specifically a cobra that's coming forth from the head. Okay? There are other places that also worship and venerate the serpent. It says again, they were set free from their chains by Lucifer through his agent Satan in the guise of a serpent with the gift of intellect, which is comparable to being fire. Now think about that. Why is intellect comparable to being like fire? Now what we want to do is some of these different thoughts and these different ideas, keep in mind, as was stated, all knowledge, all wisdom, all understanding comes from Yahweh, Elohim, okay? That was dispensed and given to us. The adversary, which we've seen also, being a creative entity, can only use what was already in existence. So when it makes the comparison of intellect as being fire, think about the scriptures where it talks about how the word is like fire. I believe Jeremiah, he said how the word was like a burning fire shut up in his bones and he could not stay. Okay? Through the use of his intellect, man will perfect the race. Now think about this. Which race do you think is being referenced here? And this is not any way, shape, or form meant to be a strike against the race that I'm about to mention. But if it's the truth, if this is a part of the Luciferian philosophy, then it is what it is. But the race that's referenced here, the Anglo or Aryan race. Well, let's move on. Through the use of his intellect, man will perfect the race and will himself become God. In other words, this was the promise that Satan gave to Adam and Hawa when he told them, in that part of it, that the truthful part of it, as we discussed, and as we also showed from the scripture, that the day that you eat of it, the Creator just don't want you to be like him. That was the suggestion. That was the thought that was planted in their mind to cause them to proceed with committing that sin of eating that forbidden fruit. Okay? So now let me just give you a little information about Prometheus. According to Greek mythology, Prometheus is a titan. Okay? The son of Theocritus and Themis, and brother to Atlas, Epimetheus, and Menoetius. He was a champion of mankind, known for his wily intelligence, who stole fire from Zeus and gave it to mortals. Think about that. Who stole fire from Zeus and gave it to mortals. Prometheus is credited with or blamed for playing a pivotal role in the early history of mankind, which is why I am anticipating this new movie coming out. At the time of this particular recording, the movie has yet to enter or hit the theaters, but the movie entitled Prometheus. And I think it's interesting, the timing of it all. But anyway. Now, for those who are against the Luciferian philosophy, this is what has been taught. Any religion, church, organization, or people who believe they are God, will become God, or are becoming God, is practicing the Luciferian philosophy of the mystery schools and are acting in furtherance of the conspiracy. Now, if you don't mind, I would like to repeat that because I want to emphasize the fact this is what's being taught by everybody who stands against the Luciferian philosophy. Okay? Any religion, church, organization, or people who believe they are God will become God or are becoming God is practicing the Luciferian philosophy of the mystery schools and are acting in furtherance of the conspiracy. Now meditate on that a moment, okay? For those of you who are Bible students, as I myself am a Bible student, the question we want to ask ourselves, considering that statement, is this the message of the Bible? Think about that. Is the message of the Bible that we are God, will become God, or are becoming God? Is that what the Word teaches? In Genesis 1:26, Scripture says this, and Elohim said, let us make